Okay, good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. In the last class, we have discussed or started our discussion regarding the block reduction technique. Okay, so we have discussed few rules according to which the block reduction technique has to be implemented. Okay, so I am sharing my screen. Okay, so this was the topic that was started. Okay, now these rules were discussed, that how to implement this block reduction technique, because there are some techniques. Why? Because if you have a complicated block diagram, okay, which has multiple nodes and multiple, you can say, blocks, okay, and different means more than one summation points, multiple summation points, multiple feedbacks, then to determine the total overall transfer function of the closed loop system, that is CS by RS, will be little bit difficult. For that, we have discussed that there are some techniques for reducing the blocks, okay, so that we can simplify it, just like we simplify an algebraic equation by taking common or apply some middle term break or some other formulas, so that the complicated equation can be brought down into a simple equation. Similarly, a complicated block can be brought down to a simple easy block. Suppose, for example, this particular block over here, okay, you can see this particular block has 3 summation points, okay, this is one summation point, this is another summation point, okay, and there is a third summation point. So okay, so the third summation point has a feedback which is actually coming from the top, because this is also feedback, this is not adding it, because since it is negative, so it is a feedback. Okay, a feedback can be from the top also, because the concept is that any signal coming from the output and it is being compared with the input signal is called the feedback. So here it is, H2 is the feedback. Okay, so the question is, find the overall transfer function from the block diagram shown below, that is C by R. So over here, RS, CS, G1S, G2S, H1S, all these S, that means the S suffix has been omitted to reduce the complexity or reduce the time. So we will not use S over here because S is obviously implemented, because S will be there, but S is not written, it is omitted for actually for simplicity, because if you write S all the times, it takes a lot of time. Okay, it consumes a lot of time. So for simplicity, F has been omitted, but it is always there. So the transfer function that you have to calculate or you have to determine is the overall transfer function, that is this C by R. Okay, C by R. Okay, that means this is the output signal, this is the input signal. So Laplace transform output by Laplace transform input. Now you can see previously we are familiar with this kind of a system. Okay, we are familiar with this kind of a system. That means if we talk about closed loop system, we know that a closed loop system looks like this. Okay, this is C, this is R, this is C. Okay, and there is some error signal. Okay, and this is B. So B minus R minus B gives you E. So now this is a closed loop system, and we know that the transfer function of this closed loop system is C by R, that is G by 1 plus GH, that we have already discussed earlier. Now in this case it is a little bit complicated because there are 3 summation points, and the summation points are also in between. So our target will be to break this entire thing or reduce the blocks in such a way that we get this kind of a structure. Okay, that is, there should be a single transfer function in the forward path and one transfer function in the feedback path, and one summation point with R and C as it is. This entire thing in between has to be reduced to this particular closed loop system. Okay, so entire thing. So how to do that? You have to see, first of all, we will our target will be, it is not possible to entirely convert this overall system into a small closed loop system. So we will be looking for small segments. First of all, starting from here, you can see G2 and G3 are very close to each other, and there is a feedback H2.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I was asking in the second summation point, sir. There are 2 plus signs, sir. So, sir, is there any difference between plus minus and plus plus signs, sir, in the summation point, sir?
Yes, there is a difference. If you can follow it 1 second, because it was discussed. Wait, let me recapitulate once again. Because if you can remember, I have shown in the PPT that if there is a minus sign, it is also a feedback. If there is a plus sign, it is also a feedback. The only difference is that the comparison of the input with the output, okay, that differs depending upon the system, because in many systems the error signal which is generated, it is basically dependent upon the input minus the feedback. But in many cases the comparison is taking place by input plus feedback. If you can remember, if you are having both plus signs, then this becomes G by 1 minus GH. Okay, wait, let me go to the PPT. I think the previous PPT, I have also shared these PPTs with you. Okay. Wait. One second. I think it was discussed over in this PPT itself. Yes, transfer function over here. Closed loop transfer function. Yes, it is in this PPT itself. You can see this one. This is a closed loop transfer function. So when you are having a closed loop transfer function, when you are having a negative feedback, if you are having a negative feedback, then your transfer function will look like this: g by 1 plus GSHS. Okay, because the whole derivation was explained. Yes, the whole derivation was explained that if this is input RS and this is output CS, then when the feedback is coming like this, then error signal is RS minus BS, isn't it? Error is RS minus BS. So the error will be RS minus BS, and hence the closed loop transfer function you calculate it like this: error is RS minus BS. So if you put these values, then you get RS CS by RS to be GS by 1 plus GSHS. It was derived. Now suppose there is a plus sign like this. There is a plus sign like this. Then what happens? The error E becomes RS plus BS. If you look at equation number 3.20, this is RS plus BS. So if you derive this equation, then the closed loop transfer function becomes GS by 1 minus GSHS. So there is no problem. Your question is that is there a difference? No, there is no difference. The feedback remains as it is. The feedback can be added or subtracted depending upon the system. The way the system is designed, the feedback can be added with the input to create an error signal, or it can be subtracted with the input to get an error signal. So it depends upon the system, and if it is added, then the overall transfer function becomes GS by 1 minus GSHS, and if it is subtracted, then the transfer function becomes GS by 1 plus GS by 1 plus GSHS. Okay, so did it answer your question?
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So basically there is no difference. It depends upon the system. Okay, the operation of the system, the structure of the system. Okay. So as we were discussing that, so in this case, this is a feedback. This is a summation point where there is a negative feedback. This is a summation point where there is a positive feedback. So this is called a positive feedback, and this is called a negative feedback. Okay. So in positive feedback, error signal is, as I have told you, it is RS plus BS. Okay, and in negative it is RS minus BS. So whatever the sign of the feedback, that will also determine the overall transfer function of the system, obviously. But there can be both positive and negative. Okay, it depends upon the system. Now, if I consider, or if I talk about this particular loop over here, you can see if I concentrate on this, so it is very similar to this, isn't it? Okay, H is downwards actually, but over here H is upwards, but there is no problem. It can maybe like this. Okay, but whatever it is very similar to this. That means we will, how to proceed if you have a complicated system like this, how to proceed. First of all, you have to check from the right hand side. Generally it is used to be checked. Right hand side, you will see that is there any way that we can get a small closed loop system. So we have to select, we have to check for small closed loop systems. If some closed loop system is visible, then we will reduce it and then proceed in this way. So what you can see, it is a very similar kind of a closed loop system. Only difference is that if this particular point over here, if this was over here in place of this place, then it has been very much simple. Why? If this particular point, suppose I call this point X, if it is not in X, if it is at Y, then I would have easily solved this, or we would have easily solved this. You might think like this, that I would have easily solved this. Then you will multiply G2, G3, like G2, G3 is a one transfer function, and this is a feedback transfer function. That is possible. If you can remember, I have shown you one trick, this particular rule, that you can switch a point from A to B, but you have to make sure that the signal which was there at A will remain as it is at B. So over here the signal is RS. You will switch at B, it becomes RSGS. So you have to subtract GS, or you have to divide GS. So 1 by GS block you have to add, so that the signal at B is obviously RS into GS, but if there is a block that is 1 by GS, so it becomes RS once again. So the signal should remain unchanged. Okay, so same thing we will implement in this case also. We will shift this block over here at X point, so you can see it is shifted over here, and the signal over here was G2. Okay, at X the signal is G2, so G2 was entering H1. Okay, so the signal G2 was entering H1. Now if I want to switch this point X to Y, then G3 will be added, multiplied. So this signal is G2 G3. So the G2 into G3 signal cannot be allowed to enter H1. So I have to add another block, or you can modify this block as H1 by G3, so that G2 into G3, when it is traveling over here through this particular line, okay, through this particular path, then when it enters this block, G3 is divided and you will get G2 only. So it is unaffected. So here we have shifted from point X to point Y. Okay, now you can see you have a very easy closed loop system where we have two forward path transfer functions, G1 and G2. Just multiply them, you will get G2 G3. You can see the modifications. This is converted to like this, G2 G3 is multiplied. Then we have a transfer function like this. So G2 G3 can be considered as G. G2 G3 is considered as G. So the transfer function becomes G by 1 plus GS HS. This is the formula we all know. So we will put the same thing. In this case, what we will do, we will put in place of G, we will write G2 G3. 1 plus G2 G3 H2. Okay, G2 G3 H2. So it becomes here also, yes, G2 G3 by 1 plus G2 G3 H2. So see, G2 G3 by 1 plus G2 G3 H2. Now G1 will be multiplied with G2 G3, so it will be numerator only. It is only possible to multiply this with the numerator. So numerator will become G1 like this. It will become G1. Always remember, if you have a transfer function like this, you just multiply. If you are having another block, so we know that block A and block B can be multiplied. Block B can be multiplied if they are series, so it becomes AB block. Okay, so this is block A. Suppose this is the transfer function is this one G1, and this one is as it is. So just multiply with the numerator. Okay, if there is another transfer function like the G1 by H1, then you will multiply G1 with numerator, H1 with denominator. Okay, as it is, just simply algebraic multiplication. Okay, these are constants, transfer functions. Okay, you will multiply this and it becomes a forward transfer function. Now you can see again we have a forward path like this block. So we are looking for this forward path. Always we will look for this. Our target is to look for this particular construction or this particular figure. If this is visible, then we will target that. Okay, in this case this is G. So as we know that G by 1 plus G into H, this is H. You just put the values, what will happen? The numerator it will be G1 G2 G3 by 1 plus G2 G3 H2. This is numerator only, then divided by 1 plus, okay, divided by, that means, are you getting my point? This one is the numerator. We are writing in this form. So this is equals to, this is G. So this is G. So this one entire thing is G. Then 1 plus G. Then again we will repeat this. Again we will repeat this. Okay. it becomes very complicated, but this is the only approach. Okay, we have to do like this. H2, then we have H. And what is H over here? H is H1.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Does anyone want to say something?
Sir, it's 1 minus, sir.
1 minus. Oh yes, 1 minus.
Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for correcting me. This will be 1 minus. Very good. Because since it is summation point, this feedback is added, so it will be 1 minus. Absolutely. So it is 1 minus. So 1 minus, then this is same as G. Then H will be H1 by G3. So you can see it is becoming a little bit complicated, but this is the only way to proceed. So this is G, this is H. So if you simplify it, then G3 will get cancelled somehow, and then in denominator we will have 1 minus G1 G2 H1 by 1 plus G2 G3 H2, and numerator this thing will be there. Then we have to apply the formula. Okay, because suppose we have A by B into C by D. Okay, so suppose we have this like this, that A by B divided by C by D. So we write like this: A by B into D by C, isn't it? We write like this. So same thing you have to do over here. So see this particular block as I've written, this entire thing has to be written over here in this block C. Okay, then we have to simplify it. G3 will get cancelled, and the denominator will be taken as common. Okay, we will simplify, because if I multiply with this, it becomes 1, okay, minus G2 G3 H2 plus 1 minus G2 G3 H2, 1 plus G2 G3 H2 minus G1 G2 H1, because H1 is getting multiplied with this one. Okay, and the numerator will be G1 G2 G3, and then these two will be get divided, and we will get this particular transfer function C. Okay, now again this is the last closed loop transfer function left, last one. Then again this is G, and this is H, and this is negative, so it will be G by 1 minus GH. So we will apply the same thing, and we will reduce this transfer function to this. So you can see this entire system, the question was find C by R. So we have reduced the entire system into a single system, single block, into a single block. That single block is this. So this is the overall transfer function of this system. So the overall transfer function of the system is this, or you can write in the simplified form in this way: G1 G2 G3 by 1 plus G2 G3 H2 minus G1 G2 H1 plus G1 G2 G3 H3. Okay, so in the question it may come that determine the closed loop transfer function of this system using block reduction technique. So you have to implement whatever knowledge we have, because I have explained it to you the different rules. How to shift a summation point also is known to you. So you will apply all these techniques. You can shift a gain, you can shift a forward path, you can shift a feedback. All these techniques you have to implement. Okay. Now let me show another example. Okay. Another example. Suppose this one. Here also it is very similar to the previous example. You have to find the or determine the overall transfer function from the block diagram shown below. So input is R, output is C. Okay. 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 So the transfer function has to be proceeded in same way. Over here you have to see, again we will start from the right and we will check whether there is a similar feedback or not. Okay, in this case you can see there is a line going from here to there, input to output. So is it a feedback? Anyone? This summation point, last one, is this a feedback path? Can we call it a feedback path which is entering the summation point at C?
No, sir.
No, it is not a feedback path. It is just an inclusion of the input signal with the output. The input is just added. Okay. So we will proceed starting from this particular area. So over here you can see there is a point. Actually this mouse is running slow whenever I put over here. Okay, so this is X. Okay, this is X. So, and this point is Y. Now if it is possible to shift this point to Y, then it would be very easier for us. Then G1, G2, G3 will become in series. We can multiply them and we can consider H2 to be the negative feedback and proceed with the first step. So this is one closed loop transfer function. It is looking like a closed loop transfer function. So what to do? If we shift at Y, so we will modify this feedback block or transfer function as H1 by G3. So it becomes H1 by G3. Okay, H1 by G3. So this is shifted from X to Y. Okay, now this transfer function, this particular closed loop has to be worked on. So we have to work on this. So again we multiply G2, G3 as G2, G3 is a single block, and this is a closed loop transfer function. So the transfer function will be G2, G3 okay, it will be G2, G3 by 1 plus G2, G3 H2. Okay, so it is G2, G3 by 1 plus G2, G3 H2. Now we have another transfer function, a closed loop like this. Okay, we have another closed loop like this. So you can see this is an extension point. So you may get confused what to do with this area. This is suppose point Z. You don't have to worry about this point because it is a common feedback, because some feedback is coming from the output. Okay, and it is entering at the middle. Suppose this is summation point, suppose S1, okay, S2, this is S1, this is S3. So summation point S2, this feedback is entering summation point S2 through this particular feedback transfer function, and then there is a unity feedback transfer function which is entering S1, which is a positive feedback. Okay, so we will neglect this. We will first concentrate on this particular closed loop block. Okay, closed loop path. So closed loop transfer function will be, this is G, this is H. So again we will reduce the entire thing like this. This one is G, this is H. So as per the formula, G by 1 plus GH. So entire thing should be written like this, G2, G3. Okay, this thing you have to write of your own in the exam, and you must practice it at your home also, because I have shared one ebook with you. There are many multiple block reduction problems are there. You can go through them. Okay, so did you receive the books, or how many of you have downloaded the ebooks? Because I have shared with you 2 ebooks. One is of M. Gopal and one is of Ogata. Did you get it in the Google Classroom, or you have not checked also? Who has checked? Yesterday itself I have shared with you all the notes and 2 ebooks.
Yes, sir.
You have checked. Okay, so you can take that book as reference, and there are problems. Okay, I will also give you assignments later on, but I want you to study of your own first. Okay, because the Diwali festival is coming, so you will get a holiday of 7 days. Okay, so whenever you get time, you please practice these things. Okay, because it needs practice. Once you practice, it becomes very easy, because this is a very scoring part. Because if the exams are held physical, because if it is unlocked and physical exams are held, I don't know what will be the norms of the university. But if suppose if physical exams are held and this block reduction technique question comes, then this carries good marks and is very easy, okay, to solve this, and it is very scoring also, this area. So you can easily score good marks. 5 to 6 marks you can score, but at least 3 to 4 marks you will score if you complete a this particular problem. Okay, so that is why I'm telling you must practice this. Okay, so moving on to the question, moving on to the example which we are discussing. This is 1 plus G2 G3 H2 multiplied by H1 by G3. So very similar to the previous one. You will get this kind of problems. You will get a little bit complicated also. Okay, so you will practice them. So you can see you are getting this particular case. Now, if you see carefully, this particular point Z is modified like this. How? Because this particular Z point, this is a feedback point. So once the feedback is removed, this area also gets removed. So this feedback does not exist because it becomes a single block, isn't it? It becomes a single block because this blue circle which I have drawn over here, this is a closed loop, and if you find the closed loop transfer function like this, so it becomes a single block. So everything vanishes. So this part, this line over here, this also vanishes. Okay. So if you are having a joint line like this, so if you know that if I am able to find the transfer function of this entire thing, okay, then this won't be in existence. Okay, so it vanishes. So you get block B in series with G1. So you can write, if you have to modify this first, you have to modify this block B first. So it is modified to, and this is the modified one. You can see it is written G2 G3 square because G2 into G3 into G3. Okay, denominator also there is a G3 square. Okay, so even if you cancel them, still there is a G3 square you will get. Okay, then multiply G1 with this, multiply G1. Okay, now you see this is a closed loop. No, it is not a closed loop because as it is, this is not a feedback. Okay, so now combining G1 and GB, we get this. Okay, as we have shown. Okay, now combining the unity gain path. So this is a unity gain path. So it is not a feedback path. This is called a unity gain path because it's just a addition to the output, because this is input signal R. Input signal is going into this particular block. This is the whole plant, you can say. The whole operation is going on. Controller as well operation, because in a control system, suppose this is the control system. Over here we have one controller, we have plant, we have different mechanisms, but entire thing, if you find the overall closed loop transfer function, okay, so this overall transfer function is the entire control system, control system block. Okay, entire control system block, entire control system block. Okay, now input and output. So this system is designed in such a way that the input will signal with enter the control system block, and control operation will take place inside the plant, and then we will get output, and addition to that we will send another input directly to the output and add it. So this is unity gain path. So it has magnitude 1. So if nothing is written on this line, it is having magnitude 1. So simply adding C plus 1, my C block, block C plus 1. This is block C plus 1. So block C is entire thing, so we will just add 1 with it. So it is 1 plus entire thing. If this one was minus, then also it is not a feedback, because again it is a forward path gain, but gain is negative. That means it is minus 1. That is why you are getting minus over here. You don't write minus 1, you will write 1, but we should, if you mention minus in the summation point, that it is obviously understood that it is a negative gain. So it is a negative gain, not a negative feedback. So in this case it will be block C minus 1. So in this case we will write this entire thing minus 1. Okay. So over here we have plus, so it is written like this. So the overall transfer function will be this one. This is the overall transfer function, C by R. Understood? Hello, is it understood? Have you understood this block reduction technique?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's quite easy. So that is why I'm telling you, if you solve more and more, okay, if you practice, it becomes much easier. Now, there is a next topic that we'll be discussing, signal flow graph. So this is not a different topic, it is a continuation of the block reduction technique. Signal flow graph and Mason's gain formula will come following it. These are not separate topics, these are just the continuation of the block reduction technique. Why continuation? Because till now we have seen a particular system, okay, where if I explain to you in this way, this is a system, okay. Now if this system is represented in this way, okay, suppose I omit this part, okay, so over here you can see we have a very few, that means how many blocks are there, how many transfer functions are there? Only few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Suppose if the system is a little bit more complicated, a much more complicated system like this. Suppose we have a system in this form, it is connected over here. Suppose we have feedback like this. मान लो कि ऐसा फीडबैक है कोई, ठीक है, ऐसा इनपुट जा रहा है यहाँ पे, ठीक है, और दूसरा ऐसा है यहाँ पर है, इसके बाद और एक है. सपोज दिस इज नॉट सी, ओके, सपोज दिस इज नॉट सी, सी इज ओवर हियर, okay, and there is another one over here, okay, this is another summation point, okay, okay. So will you be able to solve this problem within 1 hour or 30 minutes? No, you will take maybe more than 30 minutes and you will commit lot of mistakes. Because in this case, it is a, how many blocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And it is very clumsy to you know, it is possible. You have to sort out like this, you have to go like this, you have to go like this, solve each and every case. Okay, still it is easier, but suppose you have a system where 50-60 blocks are there, okay, because more than 10 becomes very much critical. 50-60 is not at all, you cannot touch them because it's very critical, complex. So more than anything more than 10 becomes very complex. So how to find the transfer function? So yes, if you have more than 10-12 blocks, then also you can find the overall transfer function, but block reduction technique becomes quite complicated and becomes quite time consuming, and you can commit a lot of mistakes while performing the block reduction technique. So how to solve this kind of problems? So that is why there is another method where you can solve the overall transfer function, but not by block reduction technique, by another technique which is called the signal flow graph. So this is actually regarding the determination of overall transfer function, but not by block reduction technique, by signal flow graph, where the block reduction technique becomes complicated with lot of blocks. So in complicated systems, simplifications of overall block diagram using block reduction technique are tedious and time consuming. So very much tedious, very much and time consuming. So use of SFG or signal flow graphs can provide easier alternatives to those problems. So SFGs are used to describe the relationship between the variables of sets of linear algebraic equations, that is relationship between the signals in a block. So it is like you have in circuit theory also, you have studied regarding trees and branches. Okay, do you remember in circuit theory you have studied trees and branches? If you have a complicated system, you can draw a tree. Okay, do you remember that? याद है सर्किट थ्योरी में, नेटवर्क थ्योरी में, एक्चुअली नेटवर्क थ्योरी में पढ़े थे, सिमिलर कुछ है. Can't remember? कोई भी नहीं. Do you remember in network theory you have studied the concept of trees?
नहीं पढ़े थे सर.
मैंने एक कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, मान लो कि कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सर्किट है, तो सर्किट को हम लोग ऐसे रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं ना, मतलब कि एक ट्री के जैसे एक पॉइंट है, ये वाला पॉइंट ए, पॉइंट बी, ठीक है, ये वाला एक है, ऐसा सर्किट को हम ऐसे बना सकते हैं. फिर वो होता था ना एक नोड 1 नोड 2 करके, मुझे भी याद नहीं पूरा. तो सिमिलर एसएफजी में ऐसा ही कुछ है. ब्लॉक डायग्राम को हम लोग सिंप्लीफाई करके हम लोग एक सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ के रूप में हम लोग रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे. मान लो कि यहां पर एक सिग्नल है y. ओके, y इक्वल्स टू mx माइनस c. तो m इज अ सिग्नल, x इज अ सिग्नल and c is also signal. Sorry, y is a signal. M is a constant, you can say. So y equals to mx minus c is nothing but y equals to mx plus minus 1 into c. Okay, you can write this. So it is represented in this way. It is a basic signal flow graph. See over here. X is a signal. Sorry, x is a node, you can say. Okay. Yes, x is a signal. Actually, it is a signal. Signals are represented by these nodes. Always remember कि सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ में सिग्नल्स को हम नोड से रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे. We will represent the signals by nodes. So x is a signal, y is a signal, and c is a signal. Okay. So the equation is mx minus c equals to y, which is nothing but mx plus minus 1 c. Mx means if this is a multiplying factor, which is called the gain. This is the gain. This one is the gain. So x into gain will give you y. So what you are getting? M into x. Then c is another signal. C into minus 1. So you are getting minus c, and it is coming over here. So what you are getting? Mx in minus c. So two signals are flowing and it is reaching out y. Two signals are flowing. Two signals are adding. One signal is mx, one signal is minus c, minus 1 into c. So m के साथ x मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है और एक जगह पे minus 1 के साथ c मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है. दोनों ऐड हो रहे हैं. ऐड होके कहां पर जा रहे हैं? y पे. This is the summation point. So this is a very simple one. Suppose you have this kind of equation, equation 29, 3.29, x2 equals to a1 to x1. ये वाला देखो, x2 equals to a1 to x1 plus a3 to x3 plus a4 to x4 plus a5 to x5. ठीक है, तो ये कैसा दिखेगा? ठीक है, इस वाले को बाद में देखो, पहले ये देखो, ये वाला, it is representing the 3.29. So So x2, so that means x2 is the output signal. So x2 is the output over here. x2 is represented like this. First one is a1 to x1. So x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 all are signals, and a are the constants or the gains. So x1 एक सिग्नल होगा, उसके साथ a12 मल्टीप्लाई होके you will get x2. So when this signal is entering x2, then x2 is nothing but x1 into a12. Okay. Then we have this signal will be added with this. So another signal has to be added to this particular x2. इसको add होना है. जैसे कि करंट में नोड में क्या होता है, एक नोड है, नोड ए. सो करंट है I1, I2, KCL जैसा होता है, I3. सो वी राइट I1 प्लस I2 प्लस I3 इक्वल्स टू 0. ओके. और मान लो कि एक करंट जा ऐसा जा रहा है I4. तो क्या लिखेंगे, I1 प्लस I2 प्लस I3 माइनस I4 इक्वल्स टू 0. So that means I4 equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4, isn't it? We will write like this. Sorry, I1 plus I2 plus I3. ठीक वैसा ही मान लो कि x2 है वो I4 है और सब ऐड हो रहा है. You are adding them. So x2 will be a12 into x1, a32 into x3, a42 into x4 and x53 into a52. Third one is x3 equals to a23 x2. x3 equals to a23 x2. So you will write like this. Very simple. ठीक है. What is the fourth one? Fourth one is x4 equals to a32 x3 plus a44 x4. Sorry, x4 is equals to a34 x3 plus x44 x4. So x4 is equals to x34 x3. यहां पर एक ट्रिक है, यहां पर भी x4 है, यहां पर भी x4 है, मतलब x4 खुद के साथ ही प्लस हो रहा है, इसलिए ऐसा दिखेगा. ठीक है. दिस इज जस्ट दी स्टेप्स. दिस वन ऑल्सो यू कैन डू द सेम थिंग. ओके. अगर कंबाइन करोगे तो ऐसा दिखेगा. ये दिस इज अ सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ. दिस इज अ ओवरऑल सिग्नल फ्लो ग्राफ. ओके. नाउ हाउ टू इंप्लीमेंट इन दी ब्लॉक रिडक्शन टेक्निक. सो हाउ दिस कैन रिप्लेस अ ब्लॉक रिडक्शन टेक्निक. क्योंकि हमने कैसे शुरू किया था, ये बोल के block reduction technique is very tedious and time consuming, so we will find the overall transfer function for complicated systems using signal flow graph, not by block reduction technique. So how it is implemented over here? Very easy. Suppose this, if consider this particular figure, this is a closed loop system. Okay, you have input R, feedback, negative feedback H1, two forward paths, two forward transfer functions G1, G2, output is C. Now in block reduction technique, we were not bothered about the signals, because what signal is entering G1, what signal is entering G2, and what signal is entering H1, and what is this signal. We know that this is B, we know that this is error, isn't it? We know that this is error, this is B, but what is this? It has to be some signal. Okay, because this signal will be E into G1, so we have to give some name. So in block reduction technique, we were not bothered about this because it was not required. In block reduction, we just reduce the block, we multiply G1, G2, that's it. But in SFG, we have to name each and every signals. This is step number 1. So whenever you have a block like this, closed loop path, if you want to convert into SFG, signal flow graph, you will name the signals first. This is step number 1. Step number 2, the signals which you have considered, you will take them as nodes. जैसे कि यहाँ पर क्या है, signals को हमने node की तरह represent किया है. Here also, okay. here also, everywhere. So R is a signal, E is a signal, M is a signal, C is a signal, and B is a signal. So R, E, M, C, B, 5 nodes will be there. You can see over here, R, E, M, C, B, 5 nodes are there. Okay. And what about the blocks? Blocks will be considered as gain, because from R to E there is no block, there is summation point. So in signal flow graph, step number 1, represent all the signals in block diagram. Step number 2, start with the signal flow graph and represent the signals as nodes. Represent the signal with nodes. Step number 3, the summation point will be deleted. We don't have to bother about summation point, because for summation point also there is some rule, okay, that we will discuss. But consider the transfer function G1, G2, H1. These are the transfer function, because this is forward path transfer function G1, G2, H1 is the feedback transfer function. So consider the transfer function, but don't take them nodes, take them as gain. क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पर देखो R, E, M, C, B है signal. What is the direction of the signal? From left to right, and feedback is from right to left, coming meeting at this particular point. So we will consider the summation point at E itself. So at E itself, so you can see signal is traveling from R to E, E to M, M to C, and then it is coming to B and B to E, because C is coming to B and B to E. Okay. And what we will do, we will write here 1. Why 1? Because in summation point the gain is 1. Over here what is the gain? G1. So between E and M we are having gain G1, so we will write G1. Between M and C we are having gain G2, so we will write G2. Between C and B we are having gain H1, so we write H1. And from H1 it is connected to E, but it is a negative feedback, so it is -1. Okay, because no block means it is 1. Okay, so it is -1. So see, it is written over here 1, G1, G2, H1, -1. You can see this particular block diagram has been represented in a signal flow graph so easily. Okay, this is the way to represent. Suppose the first step is draw the signal flow graph for this particular block diagram. So before going to the conclusion, I will show you how to do this, because in the over here, first one, step number 1, what was step number 1? Represent the signals. This is missing, all are missing over here. Okay, this is missing, this is 1 only, we can write here 1. We write -1 because it is minus. Okay, always remember. So we will name these signals like this. Okay. Yes, you can write 1 also, +1 also, -1, because when you will draw the SFG, then you will represent -1. Now you can represent 1. Okay. So we are writing the signals like this: E1, M1, E2, M2, E3, C, and C dash. Why C dash? It is not necessary, but it is in many cases it is written like this, that after the input signal we generally multiply with 1. But if you don't want to use this technique, you can also not use this. It is not mandatory. You can directly complete at C. Okay. Step number 1 is over. We have taken all the signals, represent all the signals. Step number 2, these are the relations. What is relation? E1. E1 is the error. E1 is nothing but R minus E2. R minus E2. Okay, you don't have to go through this. It is just for your explanation. I think you can directly represent this by how I've shown you. See, this is the way you have to represent it. ऐसे represent करना है. कैसे? यहाँ पर देखो, यहाँ पर R So how many signals are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 signals are there. So we'll draw 7 nodes. Okay, this C dash is not required. Okay, if you don't want, you cannot. I generally don't use this. Okay, so 7 nodes are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 nodes. Okay, okay. R and E, there is a summation point, so we will not use anything. We'll just extend the line from R and E. Then from E to M, there is G1. So from E to M, there is G1. Okay, from M1 to E1, E2, there is summation point. So we will just extend it. Or from M1 to E2. And from E2 to M2, we will extend it, and the value of the path will be equals to the gain. So it will be G2. Then M2 to E3, there is nothing, summation point. So it is extended. Now E3 to C, we have G3. Here G3. This is the forward path. We have put the values of gain of all the forward path. These are called the gains. Okay. इसको कहते हैं gain, ये वाला 1, G1, 1, G2, again 1, again G3. These are called gains. Or gain, single gain, plural is gains. Now feedback. Feedback is from E2 to summation point E1. So this is negative feedback. So E2 to E1, we will join a line and write -1. That represents it is a negative feedback, and arrow should be in this direction. The arrows will follow the direction of the block of the exact system. Exact system, the whatever the direction of the arrow is, in the signal flow graph also, the direction of the arrow will be as it is. Okay. Here there is a feedback from E3 to E2. So again E3 to E2, there is a negative feedback. And there is a feedback from C to E3, C to E3, negative feedback, C to E3, C to E3. Got it? So you can see this particular complicated system, it is little bit complicated. Okay, so it can be, it is not too complicated, but it is a kind of a system where block reduction technique is required. Okay, because otherwise you will not be able to solve. But using this signal flow graph also, you can easily solve it. You can just represent. So up till now we have understood, or we have learned how to represent a closed loop system which is represented using blocks and transfer function. We will replace them and represent in a signal flow graph. This we have learned. Okay. So have you understood up to this how to represent a system in block into a signal flow graph? If you have any question, you can ask. Any question or any doubt in understanding? Anyone? Okay, so I am ending my lecture over here, because in the next class, that is tomorrow, we will continue that how to exactly find the transfer function, because till now we have not learned how to find the transfer function. We have only learned how to represent a block diagram in a signal flow graph. Now we will know that how to represent them, because there are steps. Okay, we have to represent in branch what is a forward path, what is the forward path gain, what is touching loop, non-touching loop. Then we will use the Masson-Gain formula to solve it. So Masson-Gain formula is used. Okay, so this is the same system. We will apply the Masson-Gain formula to find the transfer function of the system. Okay, so I hope you have understood, because you are not asking any questions. Okay, is it okay? Anish Poddar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who were responding, who were actually participating? I have not seen the names. Okay. Okay, so yes, you have interacted also a few times. Okay, so thank you then for today. Okay, so in the next class we will continue with this particular topic.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.